Hello there, welcome to another episode of the Allotment Dram. This is a series of short videos where we sit and talk about different whiskies in the surroundings of our North London allotment, and you join me here today on what's been quite a lovely late February afternoon actually. It's been quite cold, quite grey, rained a lot, but today's a little bit warmer and you know, the sort of bit of blue sky. There's it's clouded over a bit now, but you know, really quite lovely actually, and just starts you thinking that spring might be just around the corner, but you know, we won't say it too loud in case it changes its mind, as it can do at this time of the year. But while that's all very interesting, I'm sure you didn't tune in to hear about the North London weather report. You tuned in, of course, to hear about whiskey. And what is the Allotment Dram today, I hear you ask? Well, it's quite exciting because it's quite a new whiskey, you know, only came out a couple of months ago back in December, and it is the GLENDRONACH Ode to the Valley. So there we are, GLENDRONACH Ode to the Valley. And this is part of a sort of wider series. There's a trio of whiskies which form the Master's Anthology. So you have Ode to the Valley, you have Ode to the Embers, and Ode to the Dark. And we'll go into the other two in a minute as to what they are. But they've all been designed to really showcase GLENDRONACH's use, you know, quite exquisite use of ex-sherry casks, and that's really what they're known for. They make quite a heavy, oily spirit, and it works really well with the old sherry casks. So you'll find, you know, 95% of their releases, you know, have sherry cask, and you know, they're very well known for it. But they've been created, these three whiskies, by Dr. Rachel Barry, who is the multi-award winning master blender for GLENDRONACH. And what we have here is the one that really kicks off the series, the Ode to the Valley. And this is really a mix of ex-sherry and ex-ruby port cask put together, mix of different ages, and it's really designed to celebrate the distillery's home. So it sits in the valley. GLENDRONACH actually translates as Valley of the Brambles actually, and from the local Gaelic, and so it's really celebrating that and the fact that, you know, they use these superb sherry casks, but with some ruby port casks kind of in the mix there as well. So no age statement, all of them are no age statement actually. But then you have Ode to the Embers, which is a rare peated GLENDRONACH, so you don't see many of those around, and they don't really make it very much, if at all, now. But sort of back in the day, they only made it for a very short period of the year, each year. So that is in Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez sherry casks, so the two types of sherry there, with a sort of quite mild Highland peat smoke. Can be very interesting. We've not reviewed that one yet. And then to finish the range, you have Ode to the Dark. Now this is the richest, or said to be the richest of the lot. Again, we've not tried it yet, but this is in 100% Pedro Jimenez sherry cask. This sort of sweet, almost sticky dessert type of sherry, which, you know, is, you know, sort of very sweet, almost treacly. So yeah, again, looking forward to that. But it's probably enough about the actual series, and they're all out now. They were launched back in December in the UK and Germany, and then throughout 2025 they'll be coming into different world markets. So, you know, check, you know, if you're not in the UK or Germany, then check your local market, and you know, hopefully it'll be there by now, but if not, then certainly very soon. So all three of them are also non-chill filtered and natural colour as well. So yeah, this one is bottled at 46.2%. So yeah, very much looking forward. We've done a review on the blog, so I'll add the link to that if I remember, just below in the details here. But I think without further ado, we should probably have a taste, shouldn't we? So let's see what we've got here. So yeah, look at the colour, really dark, lovely sort of colour, like a sort of amber, sort of gold sort of colour. Jesus, there we go. Lovely, look at that. Lovely colour. And the smell straight away is sort of leaping out of the glass. Smells absolutely superb. Lots of sort of richness, sweetness, fruitiness, but in a dried fruitiness. You've got raisin, you've got something like prunes. But you know, if you leave prunes to soak in like brandy or cognac, something like that, it's really got that edge to it. Some dark chocolate as well. Then there's quite a distinct nuttiness underneath. Getting like a bit of almonds, almost like a hint of like marzipan. And then some toasted walnut. It's really quite enticing. As I say, quite rich, quite bold, but quite enticing. Let's have a taste. It feels so velvety. Got that richness, the mouth coating, almost oiliness. Lots of those aromas that we were smelling, now tasting. You've got lots of this dark dried fruit, sort of raisin in particular. These brandy, cognac soaked prunes. Yeah, sort of getting the chocolatiness. There's a little maltiness underneath, giving almost like a umami, almost mushroomy, earthy sort of quality just under there as well. And then this sort of nutty, the almond and the walnut, sort of toasted walnut, and maybe like a sugared almond or this marzipan, like I said before. I think we need to have another taste actually. Gosh, that really is delicious. So now we're getting, there's some caramel, quite dark caramel. It's not light like honey or golden syrup, but it's got this sort of depth to it. Lovely. And then there's some other fruit actually, almost like a sort of like cranberry jelly or a little bit of apricot, like compote or apricot jam, just sitting in the background there. And then you have some sort of spice, there's some cocoa powder and some spice, and the combination of those two things start to dry it out as the sort of oakiness begins to evolve. I didn't really get it with the first sip, but definitely getting it now with this second sip, and it's drying out the inside of my cheeks there. So yeah, very, very good actually. Was quite a fan of GLENDRONACH, you know, from like back in the day, but yeah, just the nose is like super enticing, and it really delivers well on the palate, because everything that you're smelling you get, but with this sort of luscious, rich quality. So yeah, absolutely lovely. Can't wait to try the other two now. We're very lucky that we got sent the 3 bottles, so we thought we'd start with Ode to the Valley, as it was arguably the most classic in terms of what GLENDRONACH does, and then we'll be trying Ode to the Embers, the peaty one, and Ode to the Dark, which is the 100% Pedro Jimenez one, sort of over the coming week or so. So we'll have the reviews sort of on the website, but also I'll be doing separate videos for each of the other 2 as well. Yeah, fabulous. Fabulous. I'm going to have one more sip actually. So nice and delicious. Oh, wonderful. Right, so I think that's probably about it for the allotment dram today. I appear to be on the flight path into Heathrow Airport today, so I hope that hasn't disturbed you. We also had a little robin just sitting in the tree behind me sort of at the beginning, singing his little heart out. So again, I hope you could hear me over all that noise, but this is why I love sitting up here. You know, you're sort of immersed in the environment, and you know, you take it as it comes. But I think from myself and the GLENDRONACH Ode to the Valley, we will bid you farewell, and we will hopefully see you again for another allotment dram very soon, which will be one of its siblings. So I think without further ado, we'll say goodbye and let you get on with whatever you're doing before. Cheers.